Martin Thompson sat in his sunlit kitchen, his hands cradling a mug of tea as he stared out the window at the early morning sky. At 74, he'd always believed he was doing well for his age. But the sharp pain in his chest a few months earlier and the hurried visit to the hospital had forced him to rethink everything. The doctor had called it a mild clot, but it had been enough to make Martin listen carefully to the advice given. Now, he found himself researching ways to support his circulatory health naturally. His son, David, had brought over a stack of articles and a few books. One in particular caught Martin's attention, a thin volume about natural ways to maintain heart and blood vessel health. It mentioned something intriguing. Certain fruits, when eaten regularly, could help prevent or even dissolve blood clots. But Martin realized this wasn't common knowledge. Instead, the world seemed focused on pills and prescriptions. Determined to learn more, Martin compiled a list of these powerful fruits. There were 10, each with its own story and unique compounds that supported healthy circulation. At the top of the list was pomegranate. Rich in antioxidants and polyphenols, it improved blood flow and reduced clot formation. Martin remembered the sweet tart juice his wife used to make from fresh pomegranates when they were younger. He decided to buy a few from the market that week. Next came blueberries. Packed with flavonoids, they reduced oxidative stress and inflammation in the blood vessels. Martin had always liked adding them to his morning cereal, but now realized their importance went far beyond flavor. The third fruit was kiwi. Studies showed that eating just 2 or 3 kiwis a day could reduce platelet stickiness, making the blood less prone to clotting. Martin chuckled at the memory of his granddaughter's face puckering up after trying a slice of the green fruit for the first time. Then there were grapes, especially the dark red and purple varieties. Their skin contained resveratrol, a compound known for its heart protective properties. Martin made a mental note to pick up a bunch of Concord grapes the next time he went shopping. Oranges and other citrus fruits took the 5th spot. Their vitamin C and bioflavonoids strengthened blood vessels and improved circulation. Martin had always loved a cold glass of orange juice with breakfast, and now he was glad it served a purpose beyond taste. The 6th fruit surprised him: avocado. Technically a fruit, it was loaded with healthy fats and vitamin E, which reduced clot-promoting factors in the blood. Martin hadn't eaten much avocado in his life, but he decided to give it a try, perhaps mashed onto whole grain toast. 7th on the list was watermelon. Its high content of citrulline helped relax blood vessels and reduce blood pressure, both of which were crucial for preventing clots. Martin could almost taste the cool, juicy sweetness of a watermelon slice on a hot summer day. 8th came pineapple, with its enzyme bromelain that broke down fibrin, a protein involved in blood clot formation. Martin remembered how his wife used to serve pineapple as a dessert, and he felt a pang of nostalgia. Cherries were 9th. Their anthocyanins reduced inflammation and improved vascular function. Martin resolved to visit the farmer's market when cherry season arrived, picturing a bowl of fresh, glistening fruit on his kitchen table. Finally, there were strawberries. Their vitamin C and anti-inflammatory properties made them another ally in keeping the blood flowing freely. Martin had always enjoyed picking strawberries with his family in the past, and he smiled at the memory. Over the following weeks, Martin incorporated these fruits into his daily meals. Breakfast became a colorful bowl of oatmeal topped with blueberries, sliced kiwi, and strawberries. He added orange segments to his afternoon snack and mashed avocado onto toast for lunch. Dinner often ended with a few slices of fresh pineapple or a handful of grapes. At first, it felt like a small change, but gradually, Martin noticed a difference. His energy levels improved. His walks through the neighborhood grew longer and more enjoyable. The heaviness in his legs that he'd occasionally felt before was gone. Even his doctor remarked during his next appointment that his blood pressure and cholesterol levels had improved slightly. His neighbor, Alan, stopped by one morning, noticing Martin tending to his small garden of potted fruit plants and herbs. "You're looking good these days, Martin," Alan said, leaning on the fence. "What's your secret?" Martin grinned. "Fruits," he said. 10 of them. They're nature's way of keeping the blood flowing and the heart strong. But you don't hear much about it because, let's face it, there's no money in people eating more fruit instead of buying more pills. Alan raised an eyebrow. Really? Which fruits? Martin listed them, explaining briefly how each one helped. Alan, intrigued, promised to give it a try himself. As summer deepened, Martin's kitchen became a vibrant display of color and freshness. Bowls of cherries, baskets of blueberries, ripe watermelons, and cartons of pomegranate seeds graced the countertops. His family noticed the changes too. At a family barbecue, his son David commented, "Dad, you're more energetic than I've seen in years." Martin nodded. "I feel it too. It's simple, really. These fruits help keep my blood vessels clear and my heart strong. They're not magic, but they work." And so, Martin continued his quiet revolution, one meal at a time. With each bite of sweet, tangy fruit, he felt a sense of control and purpose, knowing he was doing something powerful for his health. He knew the world might not advertise it, but he had found his secret, one that was both delicious and life-giving. And he wasn't keeping it to himself.